Paige Pierce will not win a Disc Golf Pro Tour event with the big three from Europe at that event this year. So if all three, Kristen, Evelina, and Henna, are there, Paige will not win a single event with those three at the event.
So the take that you have isn't honestly as outlandish as people maybe think when they hear it, mainly because right now the only events that we know all three of them that are going to be at is like there's 4 or 5 events.
Okay, let me update my take then. Assuming, let's just say in a perfect world, they're at 80% or more of Disc Golf Pro Tour events, I will hold to that take.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's impressive. Yeah, because right now it looks like all the Europeans have done basically the same thing where they're like, hey, this is our early season touring, and I think they're going to leave after kind of the Texas swing, and then I'm assuming they're probably going to come back at
like
some point,
and
do a couple more. So I don't know exactly how many events they'll end up, but yeah, I mean it's going to be tough. I mean it's going to be tough for sure because obviously you have a couple players that have gotten definitely better, I would say, in the last year to 2 years, and I think Paige is going to be in a spot, and it's going to be interesting to see how her offseason went, because I think she's in a spot to where she can basically decide, or not basically decide, but she can come in and say, like, I am still the most dominant FPO player out there and go out and win. Or you're going to have a situation where instead of her having to just beat a handful of girls last year, she now has those, I would say like Haley King's probably going to be better coming into this year. You have Kona Panis is probably going to be better coming into this year. Kat potentially could be better. Missy Gannon. You're going to have some of these women that are still kind of not reached their peak yet. And then obviously throwing in the European women as well. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I think
So,
sorry, real quick. I think the take is a little bit outlandish from the point of view that where it's going to be hard for Paige to beat them, harder than when they're not in the field. I don't think that they're that much better, if better than Paige. I think they're on her level.
Would you bet the first 5 events? Would you bet
that Paige wins one of them?
Paige wins one of them.
The first 5?
Because those are the ones that we know that they're all going to be
You know what?
at.
Yeah, I trust. Here's my thing. I think that if Paige shows up like she's capable.
Before you give this point, can I give you some info you guys may or may not know?
Oh gosh.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a little bit we can work off of here. We obviously have Kristen. She was here for 4 events last year.
Mm-hmm.
Paige finished higher than her in one of those 4 events.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3, Kristen won 2 of them and then placed higher in the other one. And so this is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm going to go with it. So in the last 16 matchups Kristen's had against the other 2 Europeans, against Salonen, she's only beat Salonen 3 out of those 16 times. And Bloomrose, she's only beat 5 out of the 16 times. So she beat Paige 3 out of the 4 times when she was here. And if we're going to say, well, Paige can beat every once in a while, but she's not even beating Salonen and Bloomrose on a consistent basis. They're beating her much more often than she's beating them.
Pretty good stats.
So
it's pretty good stats.
It's even if we're like, well, Paige had this, Paige had that. She only beat her 1 out of 4 times. And based on what we have, she's the 3rd best in Europe right now.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of most of the stats you just brought up. And like I said, I know this is why Trevor and I on Grip Lock have talked about this multiple times, that the FPO field this year, when all of them are present, is going to be just thrilling because
awesome.
You have Katrina Allen, who can get in the mix. You have Paige Pierce, who will be in the mix here and there. The biggest thing for Paige is some tournaments she shows great resiliency and can make up like 8 strokes in one round. Mm-hmm. She's not going to be able to do that against Kristen, Evelina, Henna. One of them, if they have an 8-stroke lead,
they're not going to collapse.
They're not going to collapse. They might collapse. Less likely for them to collapse. So if Paige gets off to a bad start, now it might be kind of over, and it's interesting to see if she'll mentally check out and accept that or not. But I still stand by when Paige is playing to her full potential, when she is firing on all cylinders, she's the best player in FPO. I will stand by that until I see it happen where Paige averages, play. I don't want to use ratings because who knows what a good rating is right now. Where Paige plays and we can all agree that was a great round over and over by Paige, and she still loses. Until that happens, I will think that if Paige shows up and plays her best, she's still going to beat Evelina, Henna, Kristen, all of them. But I do agree that when they're all in the field, it's going to be Paige basically has to beat 3 of herself every week.
So you just think Paige has the highest ceiling, and you think she's going to reach that ceiling at one of the first 5 events?
I think one of the first 5 she's not going to have to, because the tournament that Kristen,
interesting. All right.
The tournament that Kristen, I believe, lost to Paige at, maybe the first. You said only one of the 4 she lost to Paige.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first
she
one
only lost to Paige at Worlds, I believe.
Okay, well, but Kristen, when she first came over, I think she lost her first 2 events she was over here. One of them she must have beat Paige, and then won her last 2. So to me, I think when they first get over here,
Paige
they have
wins Vegas.
I don't know if Paige wins Vegas. That's the tough one though, because Vegas, it's a wide open course. Evelina's won it in the past, or been close to winning it in the past. Evelina won Waco. She was close to winning Vegas. I just think that there's going to be a little bit of a slow, knock the rust off. We're on the Pro Tour moment, and I think Paige will be able to win it without having to be her best at one of the first 1 or 2 tournaments. Come tournament 3 through 5, it's going to take several rounds of her best to beat all of them, because it's hard to imagine Paige, Evelina, Henna, Kristen, and Kat all showing up to, and that doesn't even include Missy, Haley, any of them.
Kona.
All 5 of the ones I just listed, all of them showing up to an event, and at least not one of them popping off.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that world. And I think that's going to be super exciting.
Really exciting. Really exciting. All right, Mike. Thanks for calling in, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, appreciate it. One